sis, you're getting scammed. Hey guys, it's Amanda, and like many of you guys who watch my videos, I am a college student, and here in America, college students are notoriously known for being broke, and by the time we graduate, actually being in the negative. So yeah, college in America is honestly crazily expensive. So I just wanted to share with you guys some of my tips on how to save money as a college student. And also, this video is sponsored by Moss.com. Sponsored, I feel like such a real YouTuber now. So yeah, this video is sponsored by Moss.com, and I will be mentioning that company a little bit later in the video. I'm just gonna be telling you guys some tips on how to save money in college. These are all like pretty simple tips that you can probably just immediately apply to your daily life. Nothing too out there, but yeah. So my first tip is student discounts. Student discounts can be so underrated sometimes. Honestly, wherever you go, especially if it's near your college or college town or whatever, literally anywhere you go, just ask if they have a student discount. I feel like local businesses especially have student discounts. Like Walmart, probably not gonna have a student discount, but the mom and pop shop down the street, maybe it does. So honestly, always ask for a student discount. And another tip for you guys with student discounts is to use this website called unidays.com. This is actually a really awesome website because it's like literally free to sign up. They just tell you a bunch of student discounts. They like collaborate with a lot of different like well-known brands, like a bunch of name brand things, to like give honestly really decent student discounts. So I would highly recommend using Unidays. I'll definitely have a link for that below as well. My second tip, this is all the tips concerning food. Food is essential to any college student, of course. So my first tip is honestly, unless you're required to, do not get a meal plan. I don't know, this might be controversial for you guys because like, yeah, some of us can't cook out here, but honestly, meal plans are so freaking expensive. Like if you divide it by how many meals you get, like, sis, you're getting scammed. Like it's $15 a meal. Like why? So I would honestly really recommend that if you guys can, to get off the meal plan, because it's just a lot of extra money. Of course, being off a meal plan requires you to like cook on your own sometimes. It requires you to have a kitchen of some sorts. So although that can be a struggle, I believe in you guys that you can, whether it's ramen or pasta or whatever, I truly believe that you can make it work and survive off food from the grocery store. I'm currently in the process of doing it. It is not as bad as you might think it is, coming from someone with like zero cooking skills. So yeah, I would really recommend do not be on the meal plan. Another tip concerning food is use like those apps. I feel like, I mean, I go to school in New York City and there's just like a lot of random apps popping up with like deals of like $10 off your first order or whatever. So honestly, I would like recommend any of those like random food delivery apps that just like give you a free deal, like whether it's Postmates, Grubhub. But with that, I say also, this is another money saving tip, don't order food unless you're getting one of those really good deals, because honestly, if you are ordering food, I guarantee you, at least if you're living in a pretty like city area, it's close enough to walk. So do not pay all those extra fees. Do not pay like $12 to order a simple acai bowl when you could go there and walk yourself. And also, one particular app that I recommend for you guys, I mean, hopefully they have this in other places, I don't know if it's just New York City, but it's called Ritual. They do this thing where you can like legit get like a whole meal from like a real ass restaurant for like $1. So I'll also leave that link below. So I really recommend that app. And another tip concerning food, I would definitely recommend you guys to go to club meetings. I mean, don't go to a club just for food, but hey, if you are really desperate, then maybe that's the way to go. Or also, I know in residential halls, there are usually like a lot of events with free food. So, you know, don't count those out. Always be on the lookout for stuff like that. So my third tip for this video is the sponsor of this video, Moss. So Moss is a company whose goal is to decrease the amount of loans that American students have to take out every year. Obviously, the American student debt is in like trillions right now. Moss is basically it streamlines the applications to all government financial aid programs, and once you fill out the application on moss.com, it automatically makes sure you're applied for like all types of government aid programs that you are eligible for. And honestly, the government has a lot of financial aid. There's about $135 billion in government financial aid, but because the applications for them can honestly be so confusing and hidden and stuff, students are not always taking full advantage of the resources they have before turning to loans. So yeah, Moss just offers students a maximized financial aid package, and it offers you a personal advisor to talk one-on-one with about your financial aid. I filled out the application on moss.com myself. I can't see the results yet because it's not I didn't fill it out for this school year, I filled it out for next school year, but I'll definitely let you guys know how that goes with my results on getting my financial aid award for next year. But it was honestly like super easy to use, really streamlined, and I would really recommend it to you guys. So they do have a one-time membership fee of $149, so you can use the application and apply for all this aid. But they also have a deal right now where it is 20% off, so I will definitely link all of that in my description box, and I really recommend that you guys check that out if you are going to college. If you're already a college student, or if it's going to be your first time going into college, I would highly recommend it. So for the fourth tip, I really hope that you guys know this by now, but do not buy your textbooks. Just don't do it. I just vowed to myself after like I bought a couple textbooks last year, I was like, why did I buy that? Like, that was so expensive for no reason. So what I recommend you guys to do is rent your textbooks if you can. That usually ends up being a lot cheaper. If you do have to buy it, I would recommend buying it used, and not just looking at your school bookstore, but look on, there's a ton of resources online, like even Amazon, Chegg.com I believe has really good books. And for a lot of classes, like the teacher might say you need the textbook, but like, do you really? No. I think use your best judgment. If you really think you can get by it in a class without using the textbook, like go off. It's gonna save you money and it's gonna save you time because you don't have to read it. I'm not telling you guys to be like bad students, but like if you really think you can get through the class without the textbook, I know there are so many classes where you really can. I would definitely recommend not buying it. I've done it before and it's turned out perfectly fine. So just because they say required, it doesn't always mean required. But I would also recommend you guys asking upperclassmen in your major if they have the textbook or if they even needed the textbook, because that'll be a really good indicator from someone who has had like personal experience in your major and in your school. Okay, tip number 5 is to make your own coffee. Last year I spent an absurd amount of money on Starbucks, like absurd. And I'm honestly so mad at myself for it. I'm definitely someone, I really like coffee, I really like to have caffeine at the start of the day, but it simply comes at a cost. So I would really recommend that you guys buy your own coffee, whether it's getting a Keurig or actually Nespressos are quite expensive. Whether it's getting a Keurig or just buying like some of that cold brew from Trader Joe's and just making it yourself, I would really recommend that you guys like take the time out of your morning to make yourself your own coffee, because it's gonna save you a lot more money in the long run. I would highly recommend for you guys to get a job. Saving money is a lot easier when you have money coming in. So yes, work. If you have work study in your financial aid package, use it. Like, it's there for a reason. Take advantage of it. But something I really do recommend is to work or intern in whatever field you're in. I think this is probably one of the best things you can do, because you're giving yourself experience for your resume and just for your overall career, but you're also getting paid. So I know some things like waitressing at a restaurant, like it can pay pretty well and be lucrative, and sometimes people do need to do that to like get the bills paid to stay in school, and I totally understand that. But honestly, if you can, I think it's really awesome to be able to work in whatever field you're actually trying to go into. It kind of just kills two birds with one stone. Tip 7 on saving money. Every social interaction does not have to be about spending money. So I know when I used to hang out with friends, especially last year, I always felt like we had to like do something or like go somewhere or like eat something that like costed money to like in order to like hang out and have a fun time. But honestly, guys, once you learn this, that all social interactions do not have to involve food or beverage or boba or spending money, y'all are gonna save so much money when hanging out with your friends. Honestly, just like go to a park, people watch, I don't know, play a board game or something, or just like do things when things are discounted. Like for example, I know AMC theaters have $5 Tuesdays. I solely see movies on Tuesdays for this reason. So when you're hanging out with people, definitely make sure it doesn't have to be like centered around a meal or a certain experience. You guys can just enjoy the company of each other and it's just as good, I promise. Tip number 8 on saving money. So this tip is more so saving money in the long run, but if you are taking out student loans, and if you're taking out unsubsidized student loans or private student loans, those loans accrue interest while you are in college. So I would really recommend that you guys pay off interest on your loans when you're in college. I think it can work really different for whatever your loan servicer is, but you do have the option to pay off interest while you're in college, with whether it's a monthly bill or you just want to pay however much you can pay. And I know it's like taking money away from you in the short term, and it's like, yeah, well, why would I pay that $100 a month or $50 a month or however much right now when I could just like wait? But interest built up, like interest compounds. So honestly, it's better to start paying off your interest on loans now if you can. So definitely recommend doing that. So tip number 9 that I have for you guys is to really like track your course load throughout college. I would really like recommend like taking an hour or two and like really just like looking at your graduation requirements, what classes you know you need to take to fulfill your major, your minors, or whatever else, and kind of just like planning that out. Because if you like know what you're going to take and you plan ahead, it's a lot easier to be able to graduate early and to just like save money not taking like pretty unnecessary classes that you don't really like need to take or that you don't really want to take, if you know exactly how to get from point A, which is starting college, to point B, graduating. If you're really like being aware of each and every one of your credits and, you know, like making the most of what you can with your credits, it can be a great way to graduate early, which obviously saves you a ton of money. Another way to do this is to take your maximum number of credits that you can take without paying any more money. For example, my school, if you take anywhere between 12 and 18 credits, that costs a set amount of money. So like if you're taking 12 credits, you're paying as much as you would to take 18 credits. So I know taking a full course load might not be feasible for everyone, but honestly, if you can, it's like, why not just like get more for your money and take as many credits as you can without paying extra. And then my final tip for saving money in college, this is for all you people like myself who really enjoy buying clothes. Something that I've done that has actually really helped me save a lot of money in college is to stop buying fast fashion. I mean, I'm not saying I don't buy like fast fashion like ever, never, like I won't touch it. Like, yes, there are certain situations where you might need to like buy something for a specific reason and the thrift store is just not gonna have it, and that's totally fine. But I would definitely encourage you guys to like really challenge yourself to stick more to thrifting than fast fashion. And although fast fashion is cheap, I feel like just because it's cheap, I do end up buying a lot of things because I'm like, oh, this is $8, this is $10, like what, it's like so cheap that I'm just like, let's just buy it all, and I end up spending a lot more money than if I go thrifting and I'm like really thoughtful about what I want to buy. And thrifting usually tends to be on the cheaper side anyway, so I'd highly recommend that. And also just along that lines, like just being really grounded in your purchases. Like, do you really need that sweater? You have 3 other ones that look very similar. Like, I have to tell these things to myself all the time. So I just encourage you guys to be very thoughtful when it comes to purchasing more frivolous things. Frivolous, but you know, essential things like clothing, accessories, room decor. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to check out moss.com when you are going to be applying for your financial aid, and I will be seeing you guys in my next video.